present your documents remotely, so you can seal the deal without delay. All aboard! Next stop, Promotionville. Powwow now. A new kind of web meeting. Join free today.
Witchton Wolf here. And there goes another new kid with his shiny new van. You'd bet that chump's the only one getting the special treatment. Well, that's where you're wrong, wise guy. With Direct Line, tradesmen can get 10% off their van insurance when they already have tradesman cover, whether they're new to the game like Hot Wheels over there or a loyal customer, like you. And I like guys like you.
10% multi-product discount with Direct Line for Business. Can your business insurance do that? Minimum premiums apply. Introductory discount. Underwritten by UK Insurance Limited.
In the trade, sign up to Wix Trade Pro and get 10% off every time you shop with no minimum spend. Download the app to register. Always cheaper with Wix Trade Pro. Terms apply.
Radio X. Check before you travel. Go to radiox.co.uk.
We pray the car won't let us down, but the battery bails, the bulbs blow, the wipers wipe out. Can anyone save you? Yes, you. Come to Halfords. We'll check your wiper blades, batteries, bulbs, oil and windscreen. We'll even top up your screen wash, all completely free. And we're open late 7 days a week. Ready for winter's worst? Ready for anything. Halfords, for life's journeys.
Subject to availability. Check for opening hours.
The Chris Moyles Show.
With KFC. Finger licking good.
The Chris Moyles Show. Radio X.
All right, it's 8:35. We are now live on Facebook if you want to come and watch us. We're also live on Twitter and on YouTube. So if you've got Twitter, go to @RadioX. If you're on YouTube, search for Radio X. And if you're on Facebook, go to the Chris Moyles Show on Radio X Facebook page, and you can watch us live. And we are live now in the studio. You can see our beer and you can see all of us. And we're also going to chat with Mr. John Robbins, who's coming in. Look, there he is. He's all nervous to meet Dominic Byrne again.
Yeah, of course he is.
Here's Mr. John Robbins.
Hey, John.
Come on in, John. We had... Hi, John.
Hi, Chris.
Hello, John.
Hello, mate.
Hello, buddy. We had very serious discussions about where you were going to sit.
Yeah.
Because you do a radio show on Radio X from this studio.
Yes.
So, and you sit there.
Big time.
But our guests always sit there. And we're like, well, where do we put... James was like, we'll put him in his normal chair. And I'm like,
what to do,
no, you've got to put him in the guest chair.
This isn't even a chair when we're on the air. This is
Who's in there?
Betwixt Ellis and intern.
Oh, intern.
Yeah.
Do you go through so many, you don't even learn a name. It's just intern.
A terrible temper and a very complex tea order.
Now,
I
have heard this. So I've heard do you have 2 different types of tea?
Regular tea, Earl Grey tea in the same cup.
What?
A hybrid.
What's the thinking there?
There's no thought to that.
Well, there obviously is.
There's an awful lot of thought to it, actually, Chris. You get the robust punch of English breakfast, but also the delicate floral hints of Earl Grey.
Wow, in the same drink.
And it's a little bit of double caffeine when you need that.
That's good.
Sometimes I'll have a sugar in there, and whichever non-dairy milk in the building has not gone off.
Well, you're so complicated.
I'm a complicated man, but I have to say, Lucy absolutely nailed it last week.
Well, there you go. Well, that's good to hear.
That's good.
Quick question. Do you drink coffee?
Yes.
Have you ever accidentally had Earl Grey with coffee?
No.
Because that...
how would that happen?
Accidentally works.
How would that happen?
I don't know, but I've accidentally had it.
So you're making a cafetiere of coffee. Don't forget the tea bag.
You guys are not splitting the atom. It's making tea. How do you accidentally put 2 different types of tea in the same mug
That's
and go,
why it's a talking
I've just
point.
created something?
That's why it was an event, because it was accident.
It was an event.
Wow.
And it tasted kind of nice, so, just saying.
Well, listen, lovely to see you. Thanks for coming in.
You're welcome.
That's all we wanted to know was your weird tea.
I was off stage like 8.5 hours ago.
Really?
Matt, I cannot. This is not my time world.
But what did you do?
This is not my time world.
What did you do after the show last night?
I went to my girlfriend's and failed to sleep because I was buzzing from adrenaline.
So you do have a girlfriend, despite the odd tea fixation thing that you have.
Oh, she's well aware of the tea situation.
She must hate this.
Yeah.
Is this though what you do? So like a lovely lady meets you and goes, he seems really nice. There's got to be something wrong about him.
Yeah.
She finds the teething out. She thinks that's it.
Whereas, in fact, it's the tip of the iceberg.
Now, would you like... you're with us for, I don't know, another 15, 20 minutes or so. Would you like
Are we
to...
on live on Facebook?
Yes, we are, John. And why are you
for
so
Facebook,
high-pitched?
Well, I still feel quite... I haven't brushed my teeth yet. That's how early it is. I didn't have time.
Wow, what a catch you are.
So I got a toothbrush in my pocket, but no toothpaste. So don't anyone come too close.
We've probably got some toothpaste somewhere. Yeah.
I actually need.
Are you
need special toothpaste.
Are you
actually.
bad with...
I get ulcers if there's sodium lauryl
I've got
sulfate.
mouth spray, if that's any good for you.
Mouth spray.
Yeah.
No, I'll have the coffee and
It's nice.
I'll aim my breath towards
Thanks
you.
so
Sorry,
much.
Chris.
Thank you.
That's lovely.
Wow, what a complicated man you are. So the first time I ever tuned in to your radio show, you weren't on it because you were very, very, very late.
Oh, was that the first you had that?
Yeah.
That's one of the... I mean, it's been downhill since that episode.
And so I was like, it was the total wrong introduction to you two as a double act on the radio.
It was anarchic. It was like the early 90s. It was like Edmonds. Green.
Yeah. And now I see you haven't brushed your
Everett.
teeth this morning. So time management is something you could work on.
Absolute rubbish. I'm the best time manager on earth. I mean, I was here early.
You were.
I just couldn't brush my teeth because my girlfriend's flatmate was in the toilet as I left. And I didn't want to be late, which is why I haven't brushed my teeth, which is why I'm good at time management, Chris.
Okay.
There you go.
Well, told me, didn't it? This is awkward. I thought it might be awkward, but I didn't think it'd be this quick into the awkwardness. Would you like to, I'm going to give you a choice. Would you like to spend the next 20 minutes talking about your tour, comedy, making people who aren't aware of your unique brand of humour, make them like you so they will go and buy tickets, or just talk for 20 minutes about Queen?
Don't break my heart, mate. You know my PR are listening. They cost us such an insane amount of money, and they are not promoting my love of Queen. However, of course, I'll talk about Queen.
So I saw your advert, I guess.
Yeah, did you?
Yeah.
Annoyingly, they haven't sent me the raw file, so I can't really post it on the internet. But it has been viewed live by Ellis in the studio.
Right.
But maybe I'll just retweet. The YouTube link.
Okay. Would you like to see? Have you seen this, Dominic?
No, I haven't seen this yet.
Would you like to?
Yes, please, very much.
So, John Robbins, for those of you who don't know, John Robbins is, it's fair to say, is quite a fan of the band Queen.
Yes.
If you've ever listened to only one link of their show, you would know
That's
this.
evident.
I single-handedly changed Radio X music policy.
Good. But you should be allowed to play any Queen song you like whenever you like.
Yes, well, I did. I was chatting to Gordon Smart, and he got to play Seven Seas of Rye, which is still on the greatest hits, but it's at the feistier end of the hits.
So this is for the DVD release, I guess, the VHS release of Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
This is John. Now, this is very visual, but so this is mainly for people who are watching. Anyway, roll the tape and enjoy this beautiful piece. He's Freddie!
Hey.
Here you are, you're Freddie Mercury, I think. Look.
Buddy, you're a boy,
A
make
pair
a
of Adidas Gazelles there.
Yeah.
Now-
Those weren't the shoes he was wearing at Live Aid.
got mud on your face.
What was he wearing?
He was wearing Adidas Hercules wrestling boots.
Unbelievable.
Singing,
Is that your vest?
No.
Right. Now, do you have a Freddie Mercury outfit? This
got a
is
couple.
lovely. Look at this. You're Freddie.
Wow, that's
There you
good.
are. Look at that.
Good.
Thanks,
Bravo.
everyone.
Look at that. Now, what was more fun to do, that advert or the voiceover for McDonald's?
Oh, that's tricky. That's tricky because the voiceover for McDonald's was better paid.
Right. What Freddie Mercury outfits do you own?
So I've got a kind of bog standard karaoke version of the yellow jacket
Right.
and some white sort of trousers, but
With the
then
stripe.
then I got but the stripe came off because this was like a eBay 40 quid
Okay.
Freddie costume. So then I got a bespoke leather yellow jacket, so Wembley at 86.
Beautiful.
So that was top dollar. Then I had to source a Live Aid costume similar to that, but it's actually quite difficult because he was wearing Wranglers, and they're so stonewashed that you actually can't. You have to wait till they come into fashion to be able to get them because you can't really get those sorts of jeans anymore. And the Hercules boots, the only pair I've ever seen were a size 7, and they were like £100 because they're really rare vintage Adidas boots. Also, it's quite hard to get hold of the little studded leather arm bracelet because they only make them as chokers, so you have to buy a choker for the neck and then adapt it yourself. I don't know what pants
And you
he was
have a
wearing.
girlfriend.
Yes.
This is fascinating. But you surely after the tour, when the money rolls in from the tour, you could get somebody to make you all this stuff, surely.
Yeah, well, I already got the jacket. I mean, that's the main thing, really. I'm not going to contact Wrangler and say, can you make me some?
Why not?
Well, he would have been a 30-inch waist and probably a 30 leg, probably. I think he had a 27-inch waist, but maybe in a...
Did he?
Yeah, because
It's
quite hard to get jeans that tight.
Yeah. 27-inch waist.
I think so.
I'm surprised the studded arm cuffs hard to find.
They are very hard to find.
You could get it made.
I could get it made.
Of course you
I
could.
They
don't
sell
get to
them.
use it that often.
Yeah.
Probably if I went up Camden Market, I'd find one.
You
yeah.
would. You
they
would,
do one in the
definitely.
shop near where we live called Fetch. Yeah. I've seen them.
That's such a great camp word, fetch.
That's where Pippa and Toby are on a Friday, pretty
It's
much.
like
isn't it? That's your weekend.
a specialist sportswear and
Yeah, right. I was walking past Pippa's house and I saw this shop, and I'll tell you this, I damn near fetched. Sort of thing Max Miller would have said.
I have
Exactly.
that's the very topical Radio X reference there for the kids. I have a Freddie Mercury outfit. I think I told you this before.
Yeah, yes. Tell me more, though.
I got asked to do something on Channel 4 Stand Up for Cancer. I got asked to introduce one of the comedians, and they said just come on and just say whatever, and then introduce them. So I'm like, where is it? And they said it's at the O2, and I was just going through a phase of listening to as many Freddie Mercury did-a-day-dos as I could find from different live recordings.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I'm nowhere near the Uber fan that you are. So I went, can I do it dressed as Freddie Mercury? And they went, yeah, sure, whatever. Like, we've got bigger fish to fry. So I'm like, great. So I got the outfit made for me. And then I got lots of makeup. They painted my hair jet black.
Yeah.
And I had my little mustache drawn on or whatever.
Yeah.
And I walked out to the O2 dressed as Freddie Mercury. All I was doing was introducing another comedian. But I'm like, you've got it, haven't you?
You gotta.
And I stood there and I went, "Di-di-da-da-da-da." And 15,000 people looked at me and went, what?
Really? I'd have thought it'd be instinctive call and response.
Like a few. And then I went, "Di-di-da-da-da-da-da."
Oh no.
And then I went, which looked all part of it. It looked so set up. And then I went, if you don't respond, this isn't going to work, and it's just going to look weird. Okay, thanks. And then they did it, and then that was it. and then I introduced the comedian, and I walked off, and I just went, right, and I took all the makeup and went home, and that was it. But I've still got the outfit. I can't throw it away because it's beautifully made.
Yeah.
What is it? Which?
It's the yellow jacket and the white trousers with the red stripe and everything.
got a
You got a
picture.
picture of it.
Oh, let me see.
There you go.
Oh,
There is-
nice.
Now
man.
I look like a Greek Cypriot. I was also slightly larger then as well.
You look like Fredos Mercuros. Hey, you're going to have a lovely time at my restaurant tonight. I always do it like a Fredos.
It's a kind of magic.
I see a little silhouette of a man. Yeah, it's.
I like that look personally.
It was fun, but it was fun to dress up as Freddie, or Fat Freddie, as I was then. Let's take that picture off. I don't need to see it.
Take the picture away.
Right, so we love Queen. You love Bohemian Rhapsody. How many times have you seen Bohemian Rhapsody?
I saw it once, and I saw a rough cut before the release.
Of course you did.
Did you?
Yeah.
How did you see that? Did they invite you to it and stuff?
As an influencer, Dom, in the Queen world, in the normal world, I'm not an influencer.
Right. When it comes to Queen.
In Queen, I'm probably in the top sort of 10% of influencers. I think probably Matt Lucas is ahead of me.
Really?
Probably Al Murray is ahead of me.
Oh, is Al Murray? Which one is it?
And Rhys Thomas is ahead of me, but I would like to think I'm the fourth most influential Queen fan comedian.
Wow.
In the world.
In England.
Did you see We Will Rock You, the musical?
I saw it on the opening week, and I saw the last ever performance when Brian and Roger arrived to help the other lads out.
Are you friends with Brian May now?
No, I wouldn't go that far.
Right, but you've met him, you've chatted with him.
I have met him, I've chatted with him, I've appeared on his Instagram feed.
Have you?
I held his hand once. It's really soft.
Oh, he's got to keep them soft for all those chords.
For all those chords.
Now, as a big Queen fan, maybe you can ask the question: where is John Deacon?
I could tell you like pretty specifically where.
Well, we don't say his address. But
right.
But he doesn't have anything to do with anything. I'm done now.
I sort of I think all of the band, and I think maybe John especially. I think maybe people underestimate how life-changing it was for them when Freddie died. You know, we see it as like the death of an icon and someone who's now a legend and. You know, all those, but for them, they lost one of their best friends, their colleagues, and also, to an extent, their career stopped in their 40s, and they watched their friend die in front of their eyes. So I think...
By the way, if John's PR people are listening, we're about to sell the tour.
Don't worry.
Right at the back of this. So we're bringing it down, but we'll bring it back up.
But I don't know how you cope with that. And I can absolutely understand someone going... I'm out. I don't want any...
It's not the same.
I don't want to have to answer questions. I don't want to have to do interviews. I don't want to have to tell people what I think Bohemian Rhapsody was about. I don't want to be a part of that world anymore because it's too painful. Or I've made £120 million. I'm gonna just do what I want to do. Yeah. So I think I can totally understand him not wanting to have anything to do with it. I can totally understand Roger and Brian going, "Hey, I'm not going to retire at 40." You know, I still
bet
want to
they
be
do start the sentence with the word "hey." I bet they're those type of those guys, aren't they?
Does Brian still paint his little nail or one of his fingernails?
I couldn't give you sort of an update on that.
But generally, he does paint them every so often, doesn't he?
Right.
Is that right?
I have seen it done.
Yes.
I don't know if it's a daily routine.
Sure. Because when you met him, didn't he have a painted fingernail?
He did.
Yeah.
He had a painted little pinky
Nothing
finger.
wrong with it.
I know. No, you used to do
Let's
that as well.
talk. A long time ago.
You used to do that as well.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Well, I used to, when I did warm-up on Deal or No Deal...
What?
I didn't know that about you.
What?
Why have we wasted all this time when you could have just given us Edmund's stories?
Well, he was going through his cosmic ordering phase. I don't know whether he's still doing that, but he used to draw little sort of... symbols on his hand, and they were so they might be like a hieroglyphic or 3 dots or a little sort of odd curve, and he would sort of do that, and he would let the camera see him and then sort of cheekily sort of shuffle back onto the very interesting man.
I can't put you and Noel Edmonds together in the same room.
Well, you share the opinion of the people who booked the warm-up for that show. Because I maybe did it like 12 times.
What other shows have you done? Much warm-up stuff for other shows?
Not anymore. Of all the things I do, I find it the most scary and nerve-wracking.
Have you warmed up for comedy TV shows?
Yes, I did the warm-up for a sitcom once called Up the Women about the suffragettes.
Right.
Okay.
And
You've got a very
lovely.
similar video.
No, I don't. That's
don't you?
No,
okay.
Definitely move on.
Well, the warm-up days are behind John now because he is an award-winning stand-up comedian who is going out with a new tour later on this year called Hot Shame, and the poster for it is the Hot Space. It's a tribute.
Thank you. Not as someone said on Instagram, Blur's greatest hits.
Yeah.
That's right.
You know, which was, of course, called Hot Hits.
Yeah, there's no similarity there.
Well, Blur's greatest hits was, I think, inspired by that.
Exactly right, yeah.
So
and but how interesting, are you ready for this, Dom? Watch the reaction. How interesting that you chose a very poor Queen album to do a cover of.
Oh, someone's taken the mainstream view of Hot Space. How strange.
One decent track on it, one single,
Whoa!
that's it.
I think Hot Space is Queen's most interesting album.
Ah.
How's this for a curveball opinion? The album gets worse as the songs get better.
Oh, look at that. That makes no sense, though, John.
Well, the album makes no sense. That's the problem, because essentially Hot Space is a Freddie Mercury sort of gay dance anthem album.
Well, get lost. No. But how would you know that? By tracks like Body Language and Calling All Girls?
And Staying Power.
Right.
But what happens is that those songs, if you imagine them in like Heaven nightclub in the 80s, are fantastic. But as soon as Taylor and May try to wrestle it back into the rock world with Put Out the Fire, Action This Day, it stops making sense.
Yeah. It's amazing he's not single, isn't it?
Yeah,
it really is. It's fascinating. So you are going on tour. Are you from Bristol?
Yes.
Okay. He will be playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 nights at the Tobacco Factory in Bristol, and then 1 night in Leeds.
Well, so here's the thing. Bristol, the venue of the size I would like to play, is being closed down to take away its racist name. Because it's named after a slave trader.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because Bristol is obviously born on 3 things: tobacco, booze, and slavery.
Right.
1.5 of those things are not cool anymore. Not that they were ever cool. Sorry. But obviously...
John Robbins is... Do you remember the days when slavery was cool, Shocker?
It is important, I think, civic authorities have a duty to make sure that the people they are remembering through naming of roads and buildings and statues are sort of up with sort of current thinking.
Yeah.
So,
decent humans.
and my sacrifice is to forego playing a 1,200-seat venue to play 7 nights at a 300-seat venue.
Lovely. It's lovely.
I'm just doing my bit.
Yeah.
John is touring all over the UK. From September.
And there might be another night in Leeds if that one sells out.
Oh, hello.
Yeah. Are you from Leeds?
Yeah.
Oh, Leeds. A bit of Alan Partridge for you.
No, I don't know why. I don't think he ever said that, did he?
Oh, Leeds.
Again.
Bit where he's in the headlock. Where's my brother from? Chester.
That's it. I went to a recording of I'm Alan Partridge, and it was a classic episode. Yeah, I sat in the audience and watched a classic one.
It wasn't live in front of the audience. Was it sort of played to them?
No. So they had his hotel room.
Oh,
but it was 4 walls.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know it was filmed in front of a live audience.
Yeah. So the whole hotel reception and the restaurant, but the bar bit. Open.
Can I? I saw the first 2 episodes of This Time.
Yeah. Have you?
I've not seen
it
yet.
Embargo.
But good?
Yes.
There you go. Good. That's all we wanted to know.
Good.
That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
What time does John have to leave? Because I haven't sold his tour properly yet.
No. Well, you're actually technically here till 9.
Mm-hmm.
However, you're more than welcome
He's a
to stay
comedian.
for a
He's
bit
nothing
longer.
to do all day.
I'm happy. I'm literally free now until Saturday at 1 p.m.
All right. Well,
I'd like to go to the driving range at some point if possible. But apart from that...
you just said driving range and POS in the same sentence.
It won't be open yet, will it?
Yeah. Oh, it'll be open.
Will it?
Oh, yeah.
Would you like a beer?
Do you know what? As off-brand as this is, no, I never drink before 4 p.m.
Wow.
Just a little rule.
So many rules. What a hoot this live show will be. But hopefully this is for anyone who knows John. If you know John's stuff, then you should definitely be going to see him. But if this is your first introduction to John, what a lovely man. What a lovely man he is.
Thanks, man.
And we'll talk about the tour, and I'll tell you where you can get tickets from when we come back after 9 o'clock. And if you have any Queen questions for John,
text them in. Anything.
Yep, 83936.
Apart from birthdays, I sometimes get that wrong.
Yeah, but that's all right.
Yeah, he can tell you. He can tell you what leg size Freddie Mercury is, but don't go for birthdays. For God's sake, he's not a geek of a fan. He just knows.
I can do
stuff.
star signs because it's in the crest, which, fun fact, was designed by Freddie Mercury.
83936. Start your text with the Queen. If you've got a great Queen question, try and catch John out.
Yeah.
I dare you. He's been on Mastermind. There you are. Right, we'll be right back. Dominic will have the news after this.
The Chris Moyles Show.
With the KFC Veggie Rice Box. Delicious cob of golden corn with Tex-Mex rice and salad.
All right, Debs. Tell me about your amazing £1 million idea then.
So, imagine a website that goes through gazillions of houses employing ninja-like techniques to find you your perfect home.
You mean Zoopla?
Zoopla?
Yeah. As well as having gazillions of houses, it lets you create your search area, shows you running costs and property values, that kind of stuff.
All right, well, just let me know if you want to invest in Debs' incredible home-finding service.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with Zoopla.
With over 1 million properties and the tools to find your perfect home, start your search with Zoopla.
Their unbiased information could save billions across the nation. Proudly independent, free and fair.
In the trade, sign up to Wix Trade Pro and get 10% off every time you shop with no minimum spend. Download the app to register. Always cheaper with Wix Trade Pro. Terms apply.
At Optical Express, we believe that getting older shouldn't mean your vision has to suffer. Lens surgery is an effective treatment for long-sighted and short-sighted prescriptions, as well as cataracts. Our experienced optometrists and surgeons will discuss the right vision correction option for you. Call 0800 023 2020 to arrange your free lens surgery consultation with Optical Express.
When it comes to business meetings, some things never change. Like the always awkward greeting. The hug you thought was a handshake. The one kiss, two kiss, can. The guy that fist bumps around the boardroom like a bro. But some things do change. Like being able to veto the awkward greeto and screen share via the web instead. Ooh, yeah! You got this, bro! Powwow now! A new kind of web meeting. Join free today.
Will my travel be affected when we leave the EU?
What about documents for driving? Will mobile roaming change?
Should I check my travel insurance?
You might also have questions about how leaving the EU on the 29th of March will affect you. Find guidance and up-to-date information at gov.uk/EU exit.
Radio X. News update. Next.
Gary and I have worked in our little shop for over 20 years, and seeing as this Wednesday it's the Lotto Valentine Super Draw with a heart-stopping £14 million jackpot, I've treated him to a ticket and even got these guys in to serenade him. Don't miss it, my Lotto lovebirds.
Lotto. Amazing starts here. Rules and procedures apply. Players must be 16 or over.
On your radio, on your phone, and here.
Play Radio X.
This is Radio X News.
More from Mr. John Robbins in a bit, and we'll tell you how you can go and see him live. Please do go and buy tickets. Even if you actually don't go, just buy tickets for the tour so he can finally get that bit of Freddie Mercury
The ideal
jewellery.
situation would be if the tickets sold out and nobody turned up, because then I could just do it on my own and
Pocket the cash
and get home.
Great. There you go.
Perfect.
John, professionalism is his middle name, Robbins. He cares about his craft. Anyway, more with John in a bit. Meanwhile, Dominic has the news at 9:02.
In Global's newsroom, a deal has now been reached in the States over Donald Trump's demands for funding for a border wall. Democrats and Republicans have agreed money for it, but nowhere near the amount the president wanted. It would mean a new fence on the border between the US and Mexico rather than the concrete wall. The deal would have to be agreed by Donald Trump, though, but that could be tricky.
They said that progress is being made with this committee. Just so you know, we're building the wall anyway. So I don't know what they mean. Progress is being made significant.
In other news this morning, a day earlier than first planned, the Prime Minister will update Parliament on her latest Brexit talks. Theresa May will give more details later on the discussions. That's the one she had in Brussels, Belfast and Dublin last week. It's ahead of MPs voting on changes to her deal on Thursday. A man's been detained on suspicion of arson after a large fire at a mental health facility in Staffordshire. Dozens of firefighters were called to the George Bryan Medical Centre in Tamworth last night. A man's had what police are calling a noxious substance thrown in his face in East London. Happened near Romford Station last night. No one has been arrested. And all taxi and minicab drivers could have to pass tougher criminal record checks under new plans to help keep passengers safe. The government's talking to local councils at the moment who grant the licences about bringing in enhanced checks.
Sport.
With Selco Builders Warehouse. 66 branches nationwide. Find your nearest at selcobw.com.
Wolves got an equaliser in the 95th minute against Newcastle United last night. It finished up 1-1 at Molineux. Manchester United's caretaker boss, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, faces a big test to his unbeaten run in charge later. They take on Paris Saint-Germain at Old Trafford in the first leg of their Champions League last 16 tie. Roma meet Porto in this evening's other game. And England's cricketers will hope to get a consolation win in the third and final test of their series with the West Indies today. They'll start the day 325 for 4 in their second innings. That's 448 runs ahead of the hosts in St Lucia.
Weather.
And the weather, very wet for Wales, Scotland and Northern Ireland. Drier elsewhere with some sunshine in the south and east of England. Temperatures up to 12 degrees today from Global's newsroom. For Radio X, I'm Donald Byrne.
I watch mucky videos.
Byrne.
We've had some of the best text messages in.
Have we?
Some of the best. Lots of silly ones, but absolutely some cracking questions.
Okay.
And things about you.
Oh.
I'm as big a Queen fan as John. Sorry, Hot Space is rubbish. The movie wasn't great either. Chronologically all over the place.
It's not a documentary, you absolute nitwit.
No mention
film.
of...
It's a Hollywood film.
No mention of Spike Edney.
Why do they need to mention Spike Edney?
Fifth member of Queen.
That's such a stupid problem to have with the film.
That's
He played keyboards on the Magic Tour. What, they're going to suddenly go, and we now interrupt the film to show you some footage of Spike Edney,
All right, relax.
who I have met.
Okay, relax. Good morning. John hosted an insurance awards evening in December that I attended.
Yes, that was mixed.
I loved his joke about trying to obtain a mortgage for a self-employed comedian separated from his wife with poor credit history until he realised the room was full of specialist insurers that could actually help him. Yeah. Great night anyway. See you on tour, says Scott.
Yeah, I did perhaps the most obscure joke I've ever done in my career at that awards, where I said... I was talking about how difficult it is to get a mortgage when you're self-employed. I said, obviously, you used to be able to get your tax breakdown from HMRC, but they no longer do that. So you have to get a tax receipt from your accountant. But a lot of mortgage providers don't accept that as proof of earnings.
Right.
Or, as I call it, a catch SA 302 situation. And it got nothing.
Oh, what?
In a room of 400 mortgage brokers.
This country.
What do you do immediately after that moment when it gets nothing?
Sweat.
Do you? Okay.
Your throat constricts, your hands go dry, you panic, your heart races, and you want to go home.
Do you still not
Yes.
just count to 3 in your head as if the laugh's been there and carry on?
I should have just laughed to myself.
Yes.
Anyway, moving on to self-certs.
Take my wife, please. I was at the Mastermind recording. Asked John if he has listened to Thin Lizzy since he got that question.
Go away.
Go away! What else? There was some really good stuff. Oh, this is nice. Listening all the way from Melbourne to watch John Robbins is the best decision we've made tonight. Can't wait to see John at the Redgrave Theatre in Bristol on the 30th of September.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you there.
There you are. Nice. Going to see John in Liverpool, says Martin.
Epstein Theatre.
Queen question.
Yep.
I Can't Live With You or the 1997 Rocks retake, which wins?
Wonderful question. Can I just enjoy that question for just a couple of seconds?
Sure.
For me, it's got to be the original because that album, Innuendo, means a huge amount to me. It's one of my favourite 2 Queen albums.
Oh, interesting. And follow-up question, why is the Mike Spencer mix of Under Pressure not better known?
Well, Brian May isn't a big fan of Under Pressure because and you might notice there's not a lot of guitar in it.
No, there's not. Is that why?
I think he sort of had a minor strop during the recording sessions and sort of left them to it, and he's always said he'd like to remix it, which I personally am glad has not happened. But I wonder if that's part of that sort of world of reimagined Under Pressures.
If Brian May and Roger wanted to remix some of the Queen stuff, would it be advisable for them to get you in as well as the Queen fan to have a fresh pair of ears to be able to go, no boys, don't touch it?
I personally don't. Remixes are interesting. I like the Rick Rubin remix of "We Will Rock You."
Oh yeah, of
course. In the early 90s especially, remixes were a big thing. So you'd buy a single and there'd be 6 different versions. There'd be the Eurobeat mix, Hello.
You're listening to John Robbins talking about Queen on Radio X. Let's go back to John now.
You're right, yeah.
So You Don't Fool Me was released as You Don't Fool Me, the remixes, on white ivory vinyl.
John going on tour later on this year, and you can get tickets.
Wasn't actually made of ivory.
More details coming up.
That'd be Queen's terrible. Most expensive and illegal album.
Made on an elephant.
Yeah, you had to smuggle it in.
Does John think that Brian's guitar has lost some range since it was refurbished?
No.
I don't even know if that's a real thing.
But yeah, they x-rayed it and took it apart, and it was full of little metal filings from using a sixpence through all the years. And it's been beautiful. You can get really nice copies of it.
All right, Dan in Winchester, he's answered your question before I've even asked it. What denomination of coin did Brian May use as a plectrum to get that metallic sound?
Sixpence, got a serrated edge.
Do you know what? I wasn't going to do these now. I was going to save them. But as we're here, what was the name of the band Freddie jokingly threatened to form with Elton John and Rod Stewart?
Nose, teeth and hair.
That's good.
How many... Oh, see, now, this is terrible because this, I think, is a joke question, but I think John will try and work it out.
Okay.
How many Deos did Freddie Mercury orchestrate at Live Aid 85?
Well, it depends what you define. I can do it in my head and try and work it out.
All right.
Because is day yo? Is that one Deo, or is that day Is that 8 Deos?
I don't know where.
I'm not sure that science has an answer for that question.
I don't care. I just thought it was a funny question.
It's a funny question.
But you can sit and work it out, but I wouldn't bother. Just leave it. Right. Let me play a couple of songs, and then we'll come back, and then we'll talk about what John's tour is about. Because he probably mentions Queen, but it's not basically an hour and a half talk about Queen.
Could we just to get back onto my remit, could we briefly mention where you can get tickets from for anyone who's been listening for the last 40 minutes?
JohnRobbins.com
/gigs. Thank you.
Well, they'll be able to find it.
I know, you'd be amazed. You would be amazed.
By the way, John Robbins' website is also copyright John Robbins. I saw that yesterday.
Oh, good.
It's literally like I've made my first website.com. It's copyright. It's the John Robbins. It's John Robbins' website. It's johnrobbins.com, and on it says copyright John Robbins. And I think it's 2016 and 2018 or something.
Man.
You need to put 2019, otherwise someone is going to nick that from you.
I'm not very good at internet things.
No, it's good. Anyway, I'll mention more of the tour in a bit, but if you want to buy tickets now, is someone texting you saying mention the website?
No, they did ask if I wanted, because do you have people in and they'll have like a little PR person with them?
Yes.
They asked if I want someone. I always say no because I feel so sorry for someone who's got to go all the way across London at 8 a.m. just to sort of watch you have an interview through a window.
You say that, but they could have brought you some toothpaste.
Very true.
Anyway, we'll talk about the tour with old Stinky Mouth when we come back. Old halitosis Hal in the corner. I don't know what that means. In a second.
Radio X.
Meanwhile,
coming up, more of the tightest music segues with me, Paul Turner, in the middle. Mumford & Sons is our record of the week this week with their song Beloved. It's absolutely fantastic.
It's all right.
Plus, Matt's voiced up a few silly reverse words for the team to play.
Great.
Man, today's show is jam-packed. A bit like my underwear.
Chris Moyles Show.
There's your Tuesday image.
Radio X.
You're listening to The Chris Moyles Show. We're on until 10 a.m. Toby Tarrant then takes on the Radio X baton until 1. Dan O'Connell has all the guitar-based hits from 1. And Johnny Vaughan and his team will keep